preaching has already been done. We've worshiped. So I want to just, for a few moments, close off this evening with a couple of thoughts, follow-up thoughts. Number one, when the author of Hebrews, we believe is Paul, but some scholars disagree. Some is going to say the author of Hebrews, the Holy Spirit guiding somebody, says to us, fix your eyes on Jesus. He uses a word from the Greek language that conveys permanence. It means for us to keep our eyes on Jesus. Fix our eyes there permanently. The only other places that we find this word, fix your eyes, is when we're talking about carpentry, masonry, building. In the Greek New Testament, that's the only other places that appears. That our eyes are to be permanently fixed somewhere. Leave them there. When you're building something, any builders in your house, any builders? All right, awesome. No one going to Bunnings today. Right. When we're building something, I don't build either, so it's okay. Now we're understand. But when I'm in a building, I hope that whoever was putting it together had in mind permanence. Like, this thing is going to stay where it's supposed to stay. That's the word that the writer of Hebrews is using. Fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him. I want to read the whole thing, sorry. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him. What was the joy of Jesus? The joy of Jesus' life was to save us. The joy was to establish the kingdom of God here. The joy was to proclaim a new way to live, a new way to be human. So when we take our eyes off of Jesus, we have problems. When we take our eyes off of Jesus, we turn on each other. When we take our eyes off of Jesus, we have to come up with new ways to attract people to the gospel, attract people to church. And all these things fail if we don't have Jesus. On Sabbath or on Friday night, I said that the Hollywood sign for me was an orienting sign once. Right? So fixing our eyes on Jesus, he becomes our orienting sign. Another way I want us to think about this tonight before we're done is that when we have Jesus in the right place, lifted high above, and as we gaze upon him, our minds are completely exhausted by his beauty and unfathomable love, other things begin to happen to us. There's some things you guys are following up with I really am appreciating. It's really awesome. One is the risk versus risk conversation we had yesterday. We're going to come back to that tomorrow night, okay? Awesome? Yes? No one's interested. Okay. Doesn't matter. I'm coming back to it tomorrow night anyway. The other thing that some of you were interested in was this. So if what actually happens to me when I follow Jesus is potentially really horrible things, what is the purpose? What is in it for me? Well, here's what's in it for you. I'm going to describe it this way. When my son, who is on the camp, and I can talk about him because I've asked for permission, I said, I'm going to talk about you a lot this week, buddy, so just prepare. If you see me hanging around with me, you'll know that's the guy that I talked about. When my son fell in love with Legos. Anyone Legos? You have that here in Australia? Do you have that? Do you call it by some other? I don't know. I'm in a different country. I don't know. Legos. Okay. So it is the same thing. Okay. No offense. You guys do not know how to pronounce the word O. Legos. No. The word no becomes no, which means maybe. No, Legos. Okay, when he fell in love with Legos, I'm old enough that I remember this. When I was young, the one toy I had was a bucket of Legos. And when my parents got me Legos, it was a bucket of random pieces. They said, here, be creative. Imagine something. Nowadays, all you have is these kits. Are you with me? When someone tells you go play with Legos, they give you a kit. And the box that has the kit has some amazing thing you're going to build. Usually from Star Wars. When you're done building that Star Wars, whatever it is, X-Wing fighter, the TIE fighter, or some strange thing that you don't remember from any movie you've watched in Star Wars. When you're done building that, what else can you build? Nothing. Just that thing. You can take it apart and put it back together again, over and over and over again. You're saying cars. A house. You can build a house with it. But it's going to look kind of funky because it was not made, that kid, to build a house. Right, so when my son got these kids, he would ask for more kids, and we'd go back and spend money on more kids, and he fell in love with this other series, and we had to get that with the helicopter and the ambulance, and then he took those apart, and then he made the gigantic mistake of mixing them all up. Anyone done this? Oh yeah, some of you parents are like, yeah, that's happened. And you know, once all that's mixed in, it's like, forget it, it's over. It's done. You'll never rescue the kid if they're mixed up. No. So then he was like, nah, it's all good. He mixed up like 10 different kits, and he began to build these things that were just bizarre. They were like spaceships. They were like just, and then he would get to the place where he imagined something, and he couldn't do it because he didn't have the right pieces. So he would tell me, if I had 20 more of this size color, I could build out the front lawn of this castle that I'm building. But I don't have that. I'll have these strange pieces with heads headed this way and just bizarre. So one day I had a brilliant idea. I said, I'm going to take you to a place that's going to change your life. The Lego store. So we went there. Have you have those here? No, eh? Toy build? Toy well. I don't speak English. Toy weld. Okay, got it. Toy weld. Well, I don't know what that's like, but I'm going to tell you what the Lego store looks like. If you've never been, oh, wow, miraculous. Thank you, Sam. So this place is about 20 minutes away from where we live. I took him to this place. This is the Lego store. It is a Lego, if you like Legos, this is heaven for you. You walk in, and the minute you're inside the doors, your left wall and the right wall are all from bottom to top full of Lego kits. Now, if you walk into the store and you're there to get Lego kits, you can have a field day with the Lego kits. They have it all, including the Death Star $500 big thing. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this? Some of you have. Some of you have no idea. That's like if you love Legos, that's the thing. That's the one that you one day will buy, even though you shouldn't, because you should have food to eat for a month with your family. You're like, no, I'm going to own that one. All right. And my son at that point, Micah was like 8 years old. He walks into the store, he looks to his left, to his right, and he began to just go, I want that one, that's my dream, let's get that. And I took him to the Lego store for something different. I took him to the Lego store so we would go to the back wall. Because if you make it to the back wall, oh, it is the promised land. Feast your eyes. Feast your eyes, Lego kid. The back wall is full of pieces. Millions of them. And you pay $15 for a bucket. They hand you this bucket and you fill it with whatever you want. I mean, is anyone else excited? I am. And here's what happened. I took Micah, it took some work to get him past all the kids. And if the preachers in the house are like, oh, I know where he's going with this. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. If you're not committed enough to walk past all the kids, if you're not disciplined enough to not be distracted by the kids, by the way, can be amazing, but they're a dead end. The kids are sometimes what we settle for. We go to a church, if we're talking about church, and we look at this kit and we go, this is the way it is. Nothing else can happen here. we get distracted by the limits of the kid. Or we buy into a kid and we never imagine anything else. But if we're committed enough, we'll walk all the way to the back wall. You want another example? Sometimes in relationships, we settle for the kids the way it was supposed to be because we saw it somewhere in some film or somewhere. It got into our head or our soul that this is the way a relationship is supposed to go. But if we're committed enough, we walk past the kids that we see. If we're committed enough, we'll get to the back wall. And at the back wall, what I saw happen to my son is what I hope happens to all of us. He stood there shaking. Just I've quoted this before. It's one of our Adventist pioneers actually said, he wrote this. Jesus, exalted, exhausts the mind of mere mortals. His mind was exhausted by what? The possibilities. It was as if the possibilities were so infinite, his little 8-year-old mind could not quite grasp. What he could do with every piece. I mean, he wanted more than 2 buckets. Give me 3 or 4 buckets. You have no idea. I'm going to change the world. He just shook. Fix your eyes on Jesus. The author. If your eyes are fixed on anything else, if you've settled for all the kids, you're going to be disappointed. And I've said it often here this week already. If your eyes are fixed on a church, you're going to be disappointed. If your eyes are fixed on doctrine, you're going to be disappointed. If your eyes are I'm not saying it's bad, church good, doctrine good, but if your eyes are fixed on that, you're going to be disappointed. You've settled for a kid. If your eyes are fixed on a pastor, we will most certainly disappoint you. Don't settle for that. Go to the back wall. Have your eyes completely just drawn, fixed upon what will exhaust your mind. Jesus did not promise safety, health, power, popularity. You know what I think he promised when he said, I will make you fishers of people? He was promising wonder. You want your mind just blown every day? Follow me. I'm going to show you stuff that's going to change your life. The other thing that I want to, it's a pastor trick to say in closing, or I'm going to be short today because it keeps your attention. Someone else brought this up, and I'm going to deal with it right now. So the behavior thing that the Colossians were going through that I talked about on Friday night. How does it fix our behavior to have our eyes fixed on Jesus? Well, like this, I'll tell you. Another story, and we'll close with this. My wife and I was talking to her today, by the way. She's always asking me, what'd you talk about? What did you talk about? I said, well, I talked about you. What did you say? It's none of your business. She knows it's always good. So maybe I'll bring a picture of her tomorrow. Someone was asking me for a picture. You prepare yourselves emotionally, spiritually for her beauty. Her nickname is HRH, her royal hotness. That's what I call her. I said it. Where's the camera? I said it. Shelly, I said it. When HRH and I decided to follow the command literally, be fruitful and multiply. Little ears, so I'm just trying to be biblical. We had our baby, and our baby, if you're parents here, if you're a parent, you're going to be able to relate to this. When your first child was born, you held it and you said, there has never been a baby more beautiful than this one. Maybe Jesus ranked right above, but other than that, this baby is the most beautiful baby that's ever lived on the face of the planet. Did you not? I mean, look upon this child, even if your child was ugly, and everyone else went, oh, you looked at it and you said, nah, this baby, oh. We were the same way. But we were weird. Because we would go to places like this. You know, I'm the pastor. I know people in my church. They know me. We had the baby, and I was like, the pastor had a baby. So we'd walk into church, and people would go, let me hold the baby. And I'd say, absolutely not. Why do we do that? The handing of the baby around, let me hold it. This is my baby. You can get your own. My wife, Shell, and I, we live far away from family. So if you think of your country, east and west, we live on the west coast, and all our family, everyone lives on the east coast. So there was no grandma or abuelita or whatever hanging around to hold our baby to, helping us when it was us. And this child, we never, ever, ever surrendered it to anybody, ever. Until one of the joys of working with college students is to raise my kids around Jesus-loving, amazing human beings. And one of them saw this baby, our baby, looked at her face, and she said these words. I remember like it was today. Oh, she's gorgeous. And we said, yeah. You know, okay. You can hold a baby. And we let her hold the baby. And she became our only babysitter because she knew this baby, gorgeous. You know, and my daughter began to grow slowly hearing these words uttered. Oh, gorgeous. That's her nickname. Our friend, Marnie, calls her gorgeous. Hey, gorgeous. And she hears this over and over again, and she began to just internalize, and it got into her DNA. I am gorgeous. I am gorgeous. There's a lesson here, friends. There's a lesson here. What if we told people around us who they already are instead of who they should become? You want an evangelistic series. What if we're proclaiming the good news of the gospel is that you are already loved? The love you're seeking, the acceptance, significance you're seeking is already yours. What if we said that to the world instead of, you're so messed up, here's how you can become better. Here's who you already are, you're gorgeous. And that begins to transform people. It changed. I mean, she grew with that in her soul. She would stand by the door when she was about 2 years old, and we'd tell her, we're going out tonight to celebrate the days when you weren't around. So we're going to have Marnie come over and watch you, and she would stand by the door waiting for hours like, ah! And the door would open, and it was like a routine. Hey, gorgeous. Ah! Awesome. Eventually, things got really interesting. When she was about 4 years old, my wife would leave to go do things. I don't know. Leave me in charge, and I would be doing Allie's hair. You know, and I had one move because I'm a man. One ponytail on the back. And one day she says, no. 2 ponytails. One on this side and one on this side. I said, I don't know how to do that. She says, well, learn. I'm like, why do you want 2 ponytails? I've never done that before. I don't know how. She says, that's the way Marnie likes it. Oh. Eating breakfast, you know. I'm serving her what I know how to serve her, a bowl of cereal. She goes, no. Start over. A granola, bananas, applesauce, and soy milk. I said, we don't drink soy milk. This house is a cow milk. That's this. And she goes, go get soy milk. I'm like, what? Why? What's going on? That's the way Marnie likes it. Oh, you're already there. I hope you're already there. You get her life was beginning to conform to the person she had fixed her eyes upon. Everything about her began to conform to the likeness of Marnie. Am I going to be like Marnie? Am I going to be tall like Marnie? Am I going to be beautiful like Marnie? Am I going to be like Marnie? And we would be like, yeah, okay, ah! We'd go to church, and she would sit in the front row like these kids here, and she would look. Marnie would be up front singing, "Bless the Lord of my," and then one day Marnie goes, "Come up here with me," and she exploded out of her chair and went and stood next to Marnie, just stiff, like ah. She would look at Marnie like, "Ah, it's happening. She would look at us and be like, "Ah, get a picture." An amazing thing happened. Marnie and the guy who played the guitar next to her, they got engaged. They're going to marry both Jesus-loving, beautiful people. It's exactly what we want to happen. At college, yes, it happened. It's awesome. Go to Avondale, find a mate. When they got engaged, I got a call that said, Marnie's coming over. She's got to talk to the kids. And I knew what it was about. The kids were going to be in the wedding. They show up to the living room, and we're all sitting down in the living room. And Marnie says to my son, Mike, "You're going to be the Bible boy, okay?" He's like, "Okay, can I go now?" So he goes. Allie goes. She's already crying because she knows it's coming. Give me the flower girl. Estrogen. People crying, hugging. I walked out there like, too much. Oh, the wedding day. Can I describe it to you? Yes. And then we're done. So I'm the officiant. I'm standing up front. Little dude is standing on this side, holding the Bible, and with one other hand, he's picking the contents of his mouth. He's like 2.5 at this point. I can't reach him with my leg to tell him, "But you got to stop that, man." So finally, when someone was singing special music over there, I finally go like, "Stop it." And he went. You can see him in the video going, "Oh, how rude of me." Puts the Bible in front so no one can see it. Like, to eat a snack and not offer anyone. I'm so sorry. On the other side is standing the bride, and guess who? The flower girl. And the flower girl did one thing the entire wedding. I brought a picture. You want to see? Show them some of the first one. This is the bride getting ready. This is Marnie. And she was just radiant. And the next picture is exactly what my daughter did the entire day. I love this picture. Oh, she's just obsessed. She's in love with Marnie. I mean, everything about Marnie was so overwhelming to her. Her whole little life was conforming to everything that pleased Marnie. Marnie never told her, "Do 2 ponytails, eat the bowl this way." She just observed, and it pleased Marnie, so she did it. Are you with me tonight? You are gorgeous. And I don't just mean that because, it's part of the sermon. You really are. You're beautiful. The handiwork of God himself. In your mom's womb, he wove you. Hear it. If you don't hear it enough, you are the very handiwork of God. You're gorgeous. Fix your eyes on Jesus, the one who will remind you day after day after day after day. On the days when you've forgotten, fix your eyes on Jesus. You want the stuff in your heart that you have, the stuff in your life, the habits that offend, that are destructive to you, to the world, to people around you, the relationships. Fix your eyes on Jesus. Be completely overwhelmed. Have your mind exhausted by him. Stare at him the way that this child is just overwhelmed by. And you're going to find your life changing. I guarantee it. You're going to find a calling for your life, a mission for your life. Tonight, God, as we finish our beautiful time together, there are people in this room, this tent, that no doubt have not heard this enough, that they are, in fact, gorgeous. And I pray that tonight your Spirit will speak whisper in their ear and their heart that they may know that they are already who they wish they were. They already are. That what they're after is already theirs. But there's some of us who have stuff going on in our lives that needs to be corrected. And I pray that tonight, as we fix our eyes on you, Jesus, that you will be so formed in us that these things that offend you will just forget them, leave them behind. Thank you, Jesus, for the promise that our minds will be exhausted if we walk past the kids of life. May we never settle for kids. Only for you, Jesus. Only for you. We pray this, Lord God, in your Son's name. Amen.